Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020 Career Mode episode number 36. We're opening this episode with a little good news, bad news before we get into the racing. First, the good news, sponsor confidence is maxed out right now. Things are going ridiculously well, way beyond expectations so far, especially after grabbing a victory in Milano San Remo. But it hasn't all been good news. There's been plenty of bad news. The worst news so far is that I have 4 riders out injured right now. We just got 2 guys back from injury, so we have had a serious number of crash-related incidents to start this season, unlike anything I've seen over such a short stretch. I've had multiple riders out injured before. That's certainly not a first, but I haven't had 6 crash-related injuries within 1 month of each other. I don't think I've ever had that in the history of this game. Not 6 anyway. I've had 3 or 4 in a month, and I've had 2 or 3 guys out at a time, but I haven't had this many going down, so that hurts. Finances are good, so there's another plus. But another bad news thing is that despite how good things have gone, we have that 100% evaluation right now, well, the reality is it could still all flip in an instant. We have our top 5 objectives. We haven't done any of those yet. So there's still some really, really difficult races, big evaluation periods coming up. And so it could still quite easily go south for us before we, hit that end of July period. One thing I want to take a quick look at, something we haven't looked at in quite a while, is, well, first off, who's got the expiring contracts this year and where we're at on reputation for our riders. So Zeta is obviously the king of the team. Strongest rider by average, by far, and our most popular. Continental is the reputation now. So not superstar status at this point, but a Continental reputation is pretty dang good. There's a good chance that I'm going to lose Zeta. So what then? Let's find out. So Alves Machado District, yeah, that's not good. A young rider, growing rider. I think he's, especially you add a couple more sprint points, and I'm going to start getting a lot of wins with Alves Machado. Not against the best sprinters. He's not beating Ewan or Grunewagen or probably Gaviria, but in the races where the top handful aren't there, I could probably beat, Philipson maybe. We could certainly beat others, the middle tier. Aphil, already regionally known. Wow. Okay. Awesome. That's a little surprising considering he hasn't actually done anything yet. Banijek, local. District for Barta. Monotoglu is local. Garrison unknown. Granigan district. German. Lopez all district. Moreno's district. Owain. Rainsford. Rodriguez. Telford still unknown. Tentoni. This is surprising, but he is still local. Now this is actually a really good thing for me. If we can hold out till August 1st on that. If his reputation remains at just local by the time we hit August, which I think is unlikely because he's going to be put on the spotlight a few times, but especially Grand Tours coming up. But if he were to stay at local reputation and stay at a 76 average, we might just be able to afford re-signing him for another 3 years and have that real shot that he can grow into that 79, 80 average and win some big races. For Mark International, We noted this last time, and that is worrying because he is out of contract this year. Huge reputation, 75 average. His price tag probably just went up a lot. And unfortunately, he's really only good as a punchy guy, nothing else. And with a 67 mountain rating, proper chances, real chances that he has to win are few and far between. Of course, he just pulled off that win at Milano San Remo, but that's that. So really, it's just the two riders now that have the reputation. A lot of guys are beyond unknown and growing reputations, just general, slight, minimal. But as for big-time reputation, just for Mark and Zeta at this point. For me, that's both good and bad, right? It's the expiring contract thing, and whether we can afford to re-sign. So lower reputation is good on that. Long-term contracts, we want that reputation as high as possible. Because again, if we lose Zeta and we lose Vermark, we've got nobody left on the team that has a solid reputation. Alright, so we're at Ghent-Wevelgem World Tour race. Big classic, 250 kilometers in length. Classified as a cobbled race. However, there's only a single cobbled section. Makes it a little deceiving to the AI where they pick teams built for cobbled sections, and it's just not what you end up seeing here.
They obviously don't have anybody in the breakaway group.
That does increase our chances a bit, and even though this is not a sponsor objective, I take that opportunity as a test. I brought a sprint team mostly to this race. We're going to see if we can protect those guys, keep them fresh enough to contest the victory at the end. So 3-minute gap to just 6 riders in the break. And we are in the punchy little section, skinny roads, short, steep climbs. But we're in and out of them pretty quickly. So you can see a little bit of fatigue setting in as we get down to the final 100 kilometers of this race. I do need to get water again here. Right now, Zeta is my super domestique today. He's the only rider who is unprotected or not offering protection to somebody else on the team right now, keeping those guys fresh for the end. All right, biggest climb right here. And I think it's time we start speeding up just a little bit. We're going to set an 82 tempo now. These guys are drifting back pretty hard and fast. We don't want them drifting back much further. In fact, let's set this a little higher. 83. Should recover, should get back up here. Actually, you know what? Get back up here quick. 88. You know what? Let's go 90. Get in position. Get in position. Come on. How far back are we? Alright, Monotoglu, we're going to drop you right back down to an 85. Telford's protecting you. Zeta is also good. Drop you to an 86. Now there's Machado. Reason why I'm doing this is we are coming up on that cobbled section right now. There's a real chance that the field could split. So I needed these guys to get back up here as soon as possible. And that's good. Now drop it down a little bit, 89. And then who's the other one? Grant again. 89. We don't want to completely destroy them on this 800-meter section. Monotoglu going backwards really fast. 87. 88. Go ahead and go 90. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Some riders try to use the verge to avoid the cobbles, but it's at the risk of getting a flat tire.
We are seeing splits. We are definitely seeing splits. Hopefully this all comes back together. Multiple groups over the top of that one. And we're seeing attacks coming out of it too. Sagan going for it. Damar going for it. These guys. And this is what I was talking about. One little cobbled section. And everything... Normal conventions just go right out the window. Alright, that's as far back as we are. Banijek now riding solo instead of protecting Alves Machado like he's supposed to. Can we stop disobeying the order? It's these little splits causing that to happen. Alright, so we got a group of 20 chasing the initial group of 6, but it's all coming back together. We do have a notable cross breeze, but at just 22, it's not that bad compared to what is normal. And see, Zeta's doing just fine. Still only 50 in the group. Monotoglu's here. Okay, Athil's back behind it. Banijek is behind it. I don't think Banijek's going to get back up there. Or Athil. This gravel section is not noted. It is seen as normal tarmac by the game. Alright, Athil back in contact. 66 riders left. 60 kilometers, or under 60 kilometers to go. Telford is here, but let's use Super Domestique Zeta, who is totally fine. He'll recover.
You see that? You can read the pain on
Oh,
the
we're up to
faces
135
at the back
now.
of the peloton. There's a growing number of riders left behind.
I need to get Athil back on duty here, and Banijek. $40K. Zeta has returned to the front. He's not done. Zeta is still not done with his task. There you go. Alright, now he's done. And the field just split. 58 riders. Let's hope this holds. Athil is done. Banijek is done. Telford is done. Let's go and use their gels as we hit the last climb of the day. Alright, so now new check-in. Athil dropped, not going to come back. Telford dropped. He won't come back, but those riders right behind him might. We've got a group of 30, and I've got 3 fresh riders in the group, including 2 sprinters, with 27K to go.
And he sprints away in attack.
Okay, let's fix this. Okay, I got 90 is good pace. And then let's set ourselves up. Zeta, you're going to protect Monotoglu. Banijek, protect Alves Machado. Bradigan, try to survive. Back to 52 riders. Telford back in the group. And we're seeing a new attack with 22 kilometers to go.
There's nobody out in front, so with less than 20 kilometers to go, it's beginning to look as though it's going to end in a mass sprint.
Okay, Bradigan's fading.
That's the end of the breakaway. The pack gave them no chance.
He's about to go out the back, it looks like. 16K to go. Banijek, okay, they've both been dropped.
15 kilometers remaining.
Down to 32 riders, and there's still quite a few at the back that are fading, so this group is thinning out. Remember, it's been a long race. Alves Machado is now fading as well, so it looks like Zeta's going to be leading out in Monotoglu for this race. Do we want to start chasing these down? It's a big question.
Only 10 kilometers
Alves
left.
Machado going backwards. It's the next one to get dropped. 9K to go.
It'll probably be a mass sprint finish.
I've already set him to auto. Definitely losing another 4 or 5 riders. 7K. Monotoglu is definitely the quick guy, so I hope that he can last here. And that we don't see another big attack, because he's got just enough energy. Zeta's going to have to take him pretty close to the end, because that amount of energy is going to run out really fast, but he is much, much faster than Zeta. Zeta's great on the flat, so we definitely want the lead-out scenario here. Alves Machado has regained contact. The group has sat up a bit. Let's go ahead and set ourselves up. 4.3. We don't want to go too hard too fast, but we do want to go. And let's Start that process. Zeta. This is going to instantly hurt some riders. 2.9k. 2.7k. 2.4k. Speed up a little bit. 2k to go. Monotoglu. Oh man, come on. Monotoglu. He's got to hang on a little longer. Alright, Zeta sprint. Zeta sprint. Alright, now in Monotoglu, nothing left. Man, oh man. I'm waiting. I waited. I waited and I waited and I waited. Zeta's going to end up finishing almost ahead of him, I think.
Victory for
Grunewagen takes it. Bauhaus, Sagan, Demar, Christoph. We end up outside of the top 10. Just as I predicted, Zeta overtakes him on a Toglu because he ran out of energy. Zeta, great flat rating. He just doesn't have the sprint. That's why I knew head-to-head against these other guys, he didn't stand a chance, which is why I continued to protect Monotoglu all the way to the end. But Monotoglu just didn't have the stamina to make it through a 250-kilometer race that was at a high rate of speed. That last 100k especially. It never slowed down, and he just faded. It faded and faded as that race went on and had nothing left there at the end. Well, Alves Machado definitely had nothing left there at the end. He was the last one of the group to finish. Oh no, there was 33. He finished 31st. So he beat out two of those guys, but Monotoglu had virtually nothing left for the finish. Zeta set him up perfectly. I mean, I was set to sprint at 500 meters, but Monotoglu at that point had 1% energy. We're at the near 260-kilometer Ronde van Vlaanderen as the rain begins to fall, making this potentially another really treacherous race. Hopefully we don't come away with any injured riders once again, because we really can't afford to have any more guys go down injured at this point in the season, where we have a ridiculously busy schedule with essentially 2 races all the time. Meaning every rider that we have is having to be involved because of the riders that are out injured. We have 165 kilometers left in this one. We've still got a long, long ways to go. And who our domestiques are for the day? Well, it's the sprinters. There is no way that the sprinters are going to make it to the end on this one. And therefore, they are riding protection today. It is a sponsor objective. And man, oh man, this is... These guys are like standing still. Rodriguez, get out of that.
There are reports of several riders.
Why are we standing still, guys? Why are we standing still? Delford, you've got a 76 cobble rating. Keep moving. Keep moving. Granigan with a puncture. Oh, man. Alright. Well, he's dropped. He might not ever regain contact. First cobbled section of the race. One little uphill swing. And poof. 2/3 of the field is already gone. I think it will come back together. It's early enough in this race, but it's not all going to come back together, I don't think. I think some of these guys are done. In fact, I think that's it. I think Granigan's done. How are we dropped here? What has happened, Zeta? How did you get dropped? Okay, Monotoglu, we need to pull this back for sure. Come on, get up there.
The riders really have to be vigilant on this cobbled section. The vibrations really take it out of you.
This is way too early to have my team leader go down. Sponsor objective for this is a top 10. Zeta just got dropped again. You're at 92. What the heck is going on? He's a 77 cobble, and he is... My best rider is falling apart at the seams. Speaking of best rider, as Monotoglu, look how far away he is from you right now. Zeta, come on, buddy. Come on. He's falling way behind. He should have a +2 today. Really frustrating. Now, technically, he actually should be neutral. He's 99% to the fitness peak. He needs 1 point. He gets 3 points for participating in a race today. So his fitness peak is guaranteed going to start tomorrow. And here he is, way behind at the moment. We need full team to bring him forward. Alves Machado and Banijek are still there, but Alves Machado is fading. Montoglu is fading. Banijek is just cruising along, where my best rider is fading like crazy. I don't understand why he cannot keep up. Alright, Montoglu is done, so put him there. Telford, your turn, buddy. I want Rodriguez to protect Zeta. Okay, apparently a 93 is not enough to ride. So we needed to top 10 for this race, and right now we're looking like we might not even score a top 50 at this rate.
One thing's for sure when it comes to cobbled sections, there will always be a fight at the front as the riders enter. It's vital to be at the front to avoid falls or breaks in the peloton.
It's ridiculous. Look how slow they're riding. They just got split again. I don't understand what's going on, Zeta. Why are you not riding your ratings? Ride! Mother effer. Jeez. Telford, sit up. Look, he's... Telford, why can't Zeta ride? Montoglu rode right away from him like he's standing still. Now Telford rides away from him like he's standing still. My strongest freaking rider is not riding. And I just don't understand why he is so far off the pace. He's got a -1 to downhill and nothing else that's going to impact anything. He's got tons of energy. He's a snail today. And we're 2:15 behind the peloton right now.
A rider is taking his chance alone.
Okay, we've almost made contact with Telford. We are technically in the group now.
Yet another flat tire.
There we go.
It seems to be catching.
Alright, and Telford, I want you to catch up. Rodriguez doesn't have much left. We got to keep riding group A3 instead of A5 now, so we've at least made some progress there. Rodriguez is done. Back onto Telford. This is insane. And by insane, I mean we keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. And yet Zeta just struggling like a madman. We've almost made contact. We have almost made contact now. Zeta, get over this little rise, and then I want you to make contact. Look how bad that was. His acceleration didn't even do anything. Come on, there you go. You have made contact. Sit up. Now that you have burnt through 80% of your energy, at least Banijek is here. And I might have to ride for Banijek today as we're seeing the first attacks now. And there's still almost 100 kilometers to go in this race. So let's hope Zeta can recover. There's no more cobbled sections for a while. 44 riders in the peloton, just 2 riders off the front. Telford's back. I want Telford to sit up and try to recover himself.
Pay more attention to their choice of tires.
And he got dropped. Zeta has recovered a bit. This is good. Just 1 rider away. 46 left in the group. He's not the greatest climber, but Banashek isn't. Banashek's keeping at the front just fine, and he's been on an 85 throughout. I've never had to speed up Banashek at all. And meanwhile, Zeta, you can see he's just struggling at the back even now. I need to bring him forward. He's lost whatever position he had previously. Come on. Work your way up the field. Work your way up the field. There you go. No, no, no. You're going backwards again. Going backwards again. Why was he down to an 80-something there all of a sudden?
The racers have to have the talents of a tightrope walker, as the grip of the tires can't be counted on.
We were at 91. We were at 91 there, and then all of a sudden I look up. I had not changed anything. All of a sudden it was showing him mid-80s. I didn't turn that down. Is the game bugging out on me? We're behind 20. There's 10 of us. Totally with a puncture.
The riders are going through a very tough portion with percentages above 10%. Watch out! A team leader is falling behind.
Okay, before you get caught out here, just sit up. So there's 16 ahead of us.
Attack by Saga.
Back together. Zeta, you gotta push here. So if you're not pushing, you're going backwards. Now there's 9 away, and they pulled quite a bit away there.
Over the cobbled sections, a rider has to up his awareness to avoid falling. And those
Alright, so now there's 9 away and a group of 13 following. Banashek's been dropped, and he fell back quite a bit over that stretch. 10 chasing 9. Zeta is close to done here. He is done. And he's going to go back. That's 15 riders in front of him, so he is 16th now. This group catch you. Grab yourself some water. It's 30k. Okay, we ride with Zeta from here on out.
A team leader is falling behind.
Okay, he gets through that section okay, but we've got 2 nasty ones still to go. And he's got to recover a little bit. Okay, this would be your time to use the gel, because we do not want to get dropped by this group. And this little 2.2 kilometer 4-star section. Ouch.
None of the favorites is giving an inch.
Okay, get to the front. Group's thinning out. Catching a couple guys in front of us. Okay, sit up a little bit. Well, it's not like we're catching the front riders. Okay, so group of 5. This is all split up. This is the last cobbled section of the race. Okay, don't get dropped. Don't get dropped. Slow rider. Soren Krag Anderson just really hurt my chase right there. Okay, sit up, ride with him. Van Gessel, Van Avermaet. 12k to go. We are not in the top 10, by the way, but we are in the top 25.
5 kilometers to the finish line.
10k to go. Okay, starting to recover.
There's another rider with a puncture. The sides of the road are not a tire's best friend.
Yeah, we're going backwards. Krag Anderson is caught back up to us. 8k to go. We're 7.5 minutes behind.
The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up. Well, nobody can dispute that win.
Oof.
It was very well
Jewel for the win.
The
Oh my
race is
goodness.
won, but the
Monotoglu,
Bulls bringing up the rear
another.
continue to cross the line. It's
Yves
a bit of a
Lampard,
knock
Niels
for
Paulette,
Ferrari.
top 10 have already finished, and we've got a bunch of riders coming back at us. I need to leave these guys behind and then use my excellent flat rating to stay away from them for 3K.
There's another
Right?
rider with a puncture. The sides of the road are not.
So we're not going to beat them in a sprint. Oh wait, I said sprint. Gosh, it's really not following directions today at all. 17th. It's a top 25 at least, but Zeta just let me down big time today. I don't know what that was all about. I mean, it was so early, and I had him set to, what, 87, 88? And he was at the back. I mean, he didn't just split off the front. He was straight to the back like he was standing still. And then, you know, through the next 3-4 sections, it was still like that. And then I burned through 2/3 of the team trying to bring him back to the main group. And by the time he got there, nothing left. I have no idea what happened with that. Very unlucky also that fitness peak didn't trigger today instead of it triggering tomorrow. So what should have been a +1 became a -1. So we should have had a bonus where we could have used it. But oh my goodness, that was horrendous. And that could have been so much worse than what it was. Banishek finished 26th. And I would have just started riding for him, but Banishek's garbage on cobbles. And garbage in every single way, except for that he's got a good stamina rating and nothing else. But he was comfortably at the front on an 85. And he just held position no problem. So that did not go according to plan. I feel like that was actually a good recovery ride, considering, you know, getting back into the top 25, considering how bad that race was at the midpoint. I mean, that was 80 kilometers of chasing just to get back into it. And then, you know, at that point, not having enough left for the real push that always occurs, you know, in the later stages of a race. So keeping a top 25 after all of that, the race itself feels terrible, but what it could have been, you know, we easily could have had everyone outside of the top 80. I only have 2 riders with decent cobble ratings, Zeta and Telford. Telford's atrocious otherwise. He's growing. I mean, he joined us as a 67. He's now a 71, but he's got a long, long ways to go to be decent. So Zeta is very much alone. And that makes it really difficult for a big race like this. And next up for us is going to be Paris-Roubaix. At least he'll have that fitness peak. We can't handle another ride like this. I mean, that was bad. I mean, at least we had teammates along the way to pull us back. But there's no reason why Zeta should have been behind all those teammates in the first place. Whatever. Such is life. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.